I happen to be writing ideas in a Starbucks next to a methadone clinic in Los Angeles. 90% of the customers were crazed heroin addicts using caramel macchiatos as their new fix. Suddenly, it hit me. Santa, through a literal lens, is a scary, home-invading stalker. So I took the song, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and simply enhanced the non-fantastical elements. It was a huge exercise of manipulation, though actually not that much of a stretch. I just thought about what Santa would have, tools, dolls, food, reindeer whips, data on children, and applied it to the realistic working conditions of a dude who never leaves the house. I studied the Unabomber's hermit shack to get a sense of what it's like to live in the middle of nowhere, and combined it with these suggestive props. Suddenly, we had achieved creepiness. I also wanted a beautiful rustic feel to Santa's setup, so I antiqued the dolls with flour and water, used hamster bedding to glaze everything with workshop dust, and made bottles of spoiled milk, wood varnish, and other liquids, because for some reason, jars of random shit just looks cool when you shine light through them. The next level of manipulating the Christmas hero was to magnify moments that could be seen as gross. I created a giant stalker list by building a giant pencil out of a bucket and Elmer's glue mixed with coffee grounds. It was complemented by a huge list made of a king-sized blanket dyed with soy sauce and paint. For dramatic intensity, we shot it in super high speed to make the heightened moments even more intense. We set 2 rules for hyper slow motion photography: have an actual story purpose to use it beyond it looks cool, and have it look good. High speed is very, very hard to light. Luckily, director of photography Chris Saul was up to the challenge and blasted inhuman amounts of well-sculpted light into the scene. So much so that we'd actually get sunburnt, severe sunburn, if we stood in front of it for too long. And that is why it's good to hire badass actors like Daryl Robb and Rome Shadanola. 3, 2, 1, glitter, action. As we ratcheted tension tighter and tighter, we added camera movement to the slow motion, which is really fucking tricky. We attached the camera to a helicopter propeller type rig Lawrence Johnson built and spun it super fast around the set. When slowed down 45 times, it makes a simple dolly shot otherwise impossible at those super fast speeds. A bearded man studying young girls is weird enough, but we wanted to push it even further. I wanted some form of subtle disfiguration to distance us from any human comfort we might have by looking at Daryl, but it had to be functional. Makeup artist Melissa Pizzamiglio and I devised that he'd have severe windburn from the high-altitude sleigh ride. So she made a latex face appliance to turn charming Daryl Robb here into the Winter Stalker. The miniature was built by amazing artist Dave Crea, making it part Evil Dead cabin, part hermit shack. He made it snow by taking a window screen, literally off of his window, and sifting plaster onto the forest set. Since realistically over the top was our twisted philosophy, sound engineer Rich Arenas and I worked with voice man Josh Petersdorf to get that perfect semi-Santa, semi-psycho killer balance. Basically, crazy, raspy with a touch of warmth, especially when he pays tribute to Nick Aragon, who gets a cameo because we turned his living room into a pretty princess war zone on our last spot.
Sit on my lap, Nick, so you could feel all the hot coal I have for you.
Wrapping it all together was the music of Judgment Day, usually known for their insane death metal with string instrument shows, giving it an ambient, energetic tone. As advertising, it may not directly say why people should appreciate a good product. It instead gives an emotional experience that's in line with the company's philosophy and lets people decide if they want to explore it further. It's not traditional, which is why it's worth trying. Regardless, the future is a time where creativity, in service of the audience, will hopefully finally win.